Well, it was essentially, a very unique game, obviously from the twists and turns to the wouldas and couldas to what might have been, what could have been, how close we were to winning it, how close we were to losing it. But at the end of the day, like I told my team, we didn't play well enough in the first 8 innings to give ourselves a legitimate chance to win the game. And we played pretty well for a pretty long stretch here. And tonight we just, for whatever reason, we didn't play the game the right way. Especially in the first 8 innings. And when it got late, we showed some moxie and some, grit and toughness to try to get back in it. But it wasn't enough against a good College of Charleston team. And, they probably could have made some plays there, and the game wouldn't have, it would have been a lot shorter game. So it was disappointing, a disappointing loss. But that being said, we gotta regroup. And I told our guys, one of these was bound to come sooner or later. And I just hate that to walk away from the park. I don't mind getting my butt kicked. I don't like not playing the way that we're capable of playing, and I didn't feel we did that. And a lot of that, you can give credit to College of Charleston because they threw a good guy at us that pitched well, and their pitchers kind of kept us off balance for the most part. Our bats were very inconsistent, and we dropped the fly ball. We can't throw the ball to second base on a guy we should have thrown out by about 10 feet, and then we can't block the ball from going in the outfield. And I think it gave them 2 or 3 of their first 4 runs. So it was that's not how we play, and we got to try to make people earn every run that they get, and we didn't do that tonight. And against a really good College of Charleston team, the result is a difficult loss.
What happened in the 13th with the run that they scored? Can you kind of take me through that play and what he saw?
Well, Kanan's a great kid, and he was throwing the ball very, very well. And I just think that you saw the same thing I did. He just panicked. He hadn't been in a situation like that before here, and he looked at the runner at third, but he didn't. He glanced at the runner at third instead of locked in on him, and he ran at him. And heck, we spent 2 hours in PFPs on it felt like yesterday, and those pitchers fielded their rear ends off yesterday in practice. But you got to apply it in the game, and it was an easy play, but there was a lot on the line, and he hadn't been in a situation like that before, and he just didn't handle it the proper way. But I was kind of pleased with the way he threw the ball. He just didn't handle that play the right way.
Chad, y'all have known for years College Charleston is a really good team. A weeknight game against these guys in between big SEC series. I mean, is this as tough a schedule as you have, given that this is almost a conference quality opponent, and you've got to kind of find a way?
It's been a tough stretch. With our travel and but that's no excuse. We had every reason and every right to play the game the right way tonight, and we just didn't execute the way we've been executing and play the way that we've been playing. We try to pride ourselves on playing great defense and making it awfully hard on our opponents to score. And a couple times tonight we didn't do that, and that ended up costing us a game in a tight type game. When against a really good opponent, and I just don't believe in those trap games or it's been a tough stretch. These kids are young, and we had a great night and great weather, and we should have played one of our best games tonight. That's the way I look at it, and we didn't. And I told the players, ultimately, in the game of baseball, most of the time you get what you deserve. And I think we got what we deserved tonight. We didn't play good enough to win.
Marcus talked about the message being, shake it off. Obviously, you don't have a lot of time to with the turnaround. But how important is it to just wash this from the system and get going?
Well, I don't want them to forget. I don't want them to forget how and why we lost. I want it to be a learning experience. Is this our first loss at home this year? I mean, we've played pretty good, but it's I try to convince our guys every single day that you come down to the park and we're 0-0 that day. You can't feel good about what you did yesterday in the game of baseball, or it'll get you. And I don't think I have a group that's complacent. And I don't think I have a group that was reading the press clippings or thinking that they were on a pretty good run and we can just show up and win. I don't think that's who my team is. For whatever reason, we didn't play the way we've been playing, and College Charleston had something to do with that. But I'm just talking about the routine, a couple routine plays that ended up costing us 2 runs. That ultimately 2 runs is a big difference in a game like this. But College Charleston's got a really good team, and they're an NCAA tournament team, and we'll probably be in the same regional hopefully with those guys here in a couple months, and I have a feeling it's probably not the last time that we play.
John came up with a few times with a chance to either tie or take the lead. I'm guessing that's the guy you want up in that situation.
I would have taken that 9 out of 10. I mean, when we were behind a run, or we were trying to salvage or try to tie in the game, I just kind of wanted to get him up there and just to give us a chance. And he's come through so many times for us, and baseball's hard. I mean, the odds are bound to catch up with him, and he just he just had a tough night, and but he'll bounce back. Well, he's the least of my worries. That kid brings it every game. I don't have to worry about him, and he puts his heart and soul into every pitch. Sometimes in baseball it doesn't work out for you, but I don't worry about Johnny Jones. He'll be fine. He'll get his share of hits. But we had a chance. We had a couple chances with Johnny. We had a couple chances with Jonah. We had a couple chances with Dom. We had some chances with our best guys. But I'm looking at I guess Johnny and Dom were 0 for 11 between them, and Jonah 0 for 14. And we still had a chance to win. And I think that says something about our team, that we have some different ways that we can win some games. We just didn't play defense tonight. That ultimately cost us. And, we gotta shake it off and get back to work tomorrow. Keep trying to start doing what we're doing. And we can go to Vanderbilt and play our butts off and play well and get our butts kicked. So, but we gotta play well to give ourselves a chance. And hopefully we'll bounce back from this one.
What do you know about this Vanderbilt team? How are they different than the ones you've faced in years past? It doesn't seem like their rotation's settled.
I hadn't dove into them too much, and we'll do that certainly tomorrow on the bus. And but here's what I know: they got the best high school players in the country, and they got the best college players, or the highest recruited, number 1 recruiting class after number 1 recruiting class that fills out their roster, and got a lot of first rounders in their lineup. They're probably the most athletic team that we may play all year long. Many people talk about Vanderbilt and Florida being the 2 most talented teams in the country. So they're going to throw power arms at us, and they got, they have a weekend guy. Every pitcher they put out there is a weekend guy. Whether they're a long reliever, short reliever, it doesn't matter. I mean, they bring power arm in after power arm. So we're going to have our hands full. It's a typical Vandy team that they can beat you a lot of different ways. They can beat you. They can overpower you on the mound. They can run. They're very athletic. They can steal base. They can put pressure on you in the short game. They can hit the ball out of the park. You name it, there's a lot of different ways they can beat you. So we're going to have to play, we've played 26 games. We're going to have to play better than we've played in those 26 to give ourselves a couple chances to win. And there's elite. There are as elite a team as there is in college baseball, and so we're going to have to go play well.
Kind of 2 parts. Do you worry at all about this loss lingering after you guys have been playing so well, and just how does it throwing Tyler and Reagan a few innings today affect them?
Well, we were going to throw them anyway. whether we were losing or winning. We threw Reagan a few more pitches than we wanted to, but we didn't throw Tyler anymore or Brandon anymore. I mean, we wanted to throw those guys. I would have liked to throw Reagan 30 instead of 40. But we got a day tomorrow, and we got great training staff, and we're only going to use him if we're ahead anyway, and so I'll take that if we get to pitch him on Thursday night, but we'll see. I mean, heck, we leave in a few hours, and I don't have the travel roster done. I got a lot of work to do, so a lot to think about. But do I worry about being 23-3 and playing the schedule that we've played and the start that we've – no, I think you think I'd have signed up for this, right? If you had said, hey, after 26 games, you're 23-3 and 6-0, shit, me and you would have I'd have taken you to Ruth's Chris on that one, right, John? In fact, I owe you one, don't I? But no, it's baseball's a game that you're gonna get knocked off your pedestal from time to time, and you got to be a resilient group, have high character, and be determined not to let that happen again, and bounce back and play better. And I got a group that can play better. We might play a lot better this weekend, and you might not see it on the 1-loss record, but that's okay. I mean, it's only played 56, and I love my team. I love my kids in there, and I can't wait to get back on the field with them tomorrow. I got a good group now. They didn't play the way they were capable of tonight, but that don't make me love them any less.
Any other questions for Coach Holbrook?
Stokes. I think I'm pretty sure I'm taking him to Vandy, and I wanted to play him tonight, and I came that close to starting him, and then I said, well, I'm gonna get you in the game. And then I didn't think the way the game was going, it was fair to him. To be put in a situation like that in your first game, late in the game, I didn't think that was fair to him. And I wanted to play him tonight. And looking back at it, I probably should have started him and got him some at bats. I didn't. But we got half the season in front of us, more than half, and I think he can be a big addition to our team. And so we got to get him up to speed. We got to get him going, and he probably wasn't going to be ready to play 9 innings tonight anyway. His foot's not 100% yet, but it's close. And but I look forward to getting him healthy Madison Stokes going for our team. I think he can make a big difference for us. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.